Alright, so the LCD, the least common denominator, is a skill we need in order to add and subtract fractions with different denominators. So if we take the fraction 5 over 6 and the fraction 1 over 15, we need to find what is the smallest whole number that is exactly divisible by each of the denominators of the fraction. So what that means is that we need to break down the denominators so that they're the product of the prime factors. And so we know that product is just multiplication. So the product of the prime factors of 6 is equal to 2 times 3, right? Because 2 times 3 equals 6. Now, 15 is, well, 3 times 5. Now why I wrote it like this is because we need to find out which ones are unique to each of them. So we know that 2 occurs once, so we're going to write down 2. We know that 3 occurs in both of them, but we only need to write down 1 3 because it's common between each of them. Then we're going to multiply that by 5. So we have 2 times 3 is 6, times 5 is 30. And now 30 is our LCD of these two fractions. So let's take another one. And we're going to have 4 over 27 and 5 over 18. Now we need to break down 27 and 18 just like we did up here into the product of the smallest prime numbers. Yeah, okay. So 27 can be broken down into 3 times 3 times 3, right? Because 9 times 3 is 27. Now we're going to do the same thing for 18. Now 18 is broken down by 3 times 3 is 9 times 2 is 18. So we know that this 3 can drop down because it's unique to this number. Alright, LCD. Okay, and now each of these numbers also have a 3 in it, so we can drop those down. And this 2 is unique, so we're going to drop that down as well. So what this means is that we're going to have 3 times 3 is 9, right? 9 times 6 equals 54. That's going to be our LCD of this fraction here, 4 over 27 and 5 over 18. Now, say we had a little bit more complicated one. So let's just go with, well, maybe not more complicated, but just more fractions here. 3 over 10, how about? Alright, that seems good. So we're going to break down all of these denominators and see what the product of their prime factors are. So 5 can only be broken down by 5 times 1, right? We don't really need to write this 1 here, but 5 is a prime number, so it's just 5. Alright, 6 is equal to 2 times 3. We found that one out. And we have 10 is equal to 2 times 5. Alright, so we're going to find the LCD of this. Now we know 5 occurs in both of them, both of them. So here we can write 5 down here. And we're going to multiply this by 2. 2 is an element, and by 3. So all this, the same thing, it's going to be an LCD of 30. Alright, so that's how to find the least common denominator. All you need to do is break each component, or each of the denominators down by the product of their prime factors. And all that means is that you keep breaking it down until you get prime numbers, so you can't break it down anymore. And then those numbers are going to be unique, and then you're going to multiply those by all the unique prime numbers, and then you're going to get your final denominator. And then from there we can add and subtract fractions with unlike denominators.